Good morning. Welcome to JP's Morning Brief for July 27th, 2026. Good morning, everybody. Hey, I don't know if you looked at the chat just just a few minutes ago. I will tell you right now, just be patient with me because today and tomorrow, I don't know. I'm looking at my data rate over here on my OBS, and it says I'm averaging 5,800 kilobits a second, 6,000 kilobits a second. I don't know how that's possible. I'm on cellular internet right now, 5G cellular, because for some strange reason my fiber went down over the weekend. So I had to go get 5G internet. So I got redundancy going on. Whew, just be patient with me, okay, people? I would really appreciate it. Welcome this morning. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Uh, we're still in the middle of our long month. Saturday was 10 years since I lost my dad, and today is 10 years since I lost my mom. Okay, so keep us in your prayers, especially me. It's been a long journey. But yeah, I hope y'all had a good weekend. Let's just forget that. Let's just have a good week. Good start of the day's week. Okay. Uh, okay. So get back in the right frame of mind. Welcome to the morning brief. If you're not already a follower, please click that follow button. The way you do that is um, where you see the JPA report right next to it. You see a little bell. Click the bell and scroll down, and you'll see the word follow. Click follow, and you're a follower of the JPA report. That'd be cool. And then next to it is the thumbs up button. That's for likes. Give me a like for the program today. Really appreciate it. But other than that, and you can chat with me. I got Covite for Life. He's already been in the chat room already, and I have no idea why. See, I told you I'll be patient with me while I'm doing this. There we go. I got a little bit of a lag time here, looks like. Okay, no big deal. Hold on, okay, I just hit I got about a 10-second lag time. All right, so the armament shop. Okay, so here we go, the armament shop. Whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your setup, or need expert service, Jason at the Armament Shop is Copper's Cove's premier source for all things shooting. Browse our wide selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns backed by top-tier gunsmithing for repairs, along with reloading supplies and professional cleaning to keep your firearm in peak condition. Need a transfer? We make FFL transfers fast, easy, and affordable. Need your CHL? Jason can handle those classes. He has over 3 decades of experience. Visit the Armament Shop today at 115 AF Avenue D in Coppers Cove, or call or text 254-560-2023, or visit www.armamentshop.com. That's www.armamentshop.com. The Armament Shop, your safety is our priority. All right. And well, all right. So now next, the Iran update. Oh, and then also the selection of stories I've had is a little conservative today because I really had a really hard time doing any printing at all. So that's a network issue. All right. So here we go. Khomeini declares jihad and uh, will keep supporting Hezbollah. Iran warns Ukraine about the attack that they did. I believe it was Saturday, The United Kingdom and Kuwait discussed Mideast tensions. The price of oil plummeted this morning, as you will see in a minute. Qatar's prime minister urges diplomacy. Iran sold $18 billion of oil, as what they reported. Okay, whether they got to keep the money or not, it's because I think we refroze all their accounts again. CENTCOM pauses to prepare for final strikes. As of this morning, the U.S. casualties since July 7th was 4 killed in action, 207 wounded in action. And then also the caveat on this is from Trey Yinks yesterday morning. I printed this off of Facebook. He said, in the past 24 hours in the Middle East, Ukraine targeted Iranian vessels in the Caspian Sea that were transporting military cargo between Russia and Iran. Reports indicate progress in diplomatic talks toward opening the Strait of Hormuz. No additional U.S. strikes against Iran. This is the third night in a row. Now, from what I heard a little while ago, Admiral Cooper said he didn't want to do no more strikes in the Strait because there'll be overly redundant strikes and a waste of ammunition. All right. Houthis launched new missile attacks against Saudi Arabia, and Israeli officials held a cabinet meeting in an underground facility ahead of Prime Minister Bibi's visit to the United Nations. All right. And then on Friday, the stock market closed up 235.60 points. The Dow Jones closed at 51,947.25. This morning, West Texas Intermediate was down like 7%. It was up at 83,000. I'm sorry, that's this expensive oil there. $83.20 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $89.33 a barrel. All right, that is your Iran update. So today, in our announcements, today is the Westside Conservative Coalition's meeting in Harker Heights at 6 p.m. at Papa's Cafe. Like I said, it's at the Miller's Crossing Shopping Center. Dennis Faulkner is the point of contact there. Tomorrow is Coryell County Republican Party at 6 p.m. in Gatesville at the junction at Route 36. Point of contact there is Norm Mitchell. He's our party chair for the county. And the topics are the gun range day we're about to have, and bylaws, and the fish fry is coming up in September. All right, next. Pints and Politics at the Dead Fish Grill in Belton on August 6th. And that's Elephant in Room Strategies with Chip Howell. It starts at 6 p.m. on the 6th. And it's over by Belton Dam, on the south side of Belton Dam. All right. And the last announcement is the Coppers Cove Conservative Club, which is going to be on the 11th of August. The club I helped form. And that starts at 6 p.m. at Giovanni's here in Coppers Cove. All right. Those are your announcements. I got starting tomorrow, depending on internet, right? It all depends on the internet. But I'm going to be having, what do you call it? The Boots and Bling promo up, and in Coryell County, in the Four Cs, and our gun day that we're having. Okay. So with that, let's go into the regular program. Still kicking strong with my internet reach on my OBS, which totally surprises me. All right, first thing. Muqtada Khomeini vows Iran will keep backing Hezbollah and declares jihad and resistance is the only path. So Iran's supreme leader, Muqtada Khomeini, said Sunday that Tehran would maintain its support for Hezbollah as a strategic policy in a letter to the terror group's Secretary General, while declaring there was no path forward except jihad and resistance, in line with the policy set forth by the great martyr leader of the Islamic Revolution. The Islamic Republic of Iran considers the defense of these oppressed yet powerful Mujahideen of Hezbollah to be the strategic mandate, Khomeini said in a series of posts on X. Today, as the nations of the world have grown weary of the tyranny and oppression of the U.S. government and criminal Zionists, who are the destroyers of lives in generations. Wow. He actually called Israel the destroyers of lives and generations. There remains no path forward except jihad and resistance. The Iranian leader also said that Tehran has designated the preservation of Lebanon's territorial integrity as the absolute unconditional termination of Zion's regime's aggression as the primary condition for any agreement that has imposed war against the aggressive U.S. So, hold up. I want to respond to this for a second. So, when Khomeini said, "Who are the destroyers of lives and generations?" You know, I'm a combat vet, and I got 3 combat tours. 1 in Afghanistan, and then 2 in the Mideast. Okay? When I was in Iraq, these Iranian thugs, they call themselves religious theocracy. They're more like thugs, right? Constructed these explosively formed projectiles and killed several people that I know of. They're responsible for the deaths for hundreds, if not thousands, of American soldiers in Iraq. Remember, they're in Iran, but we're talking about in Iraq, right? They pushed shipments across the Iranian border into Iraq to the Jaish Ahmadi, okay? That Muqtada Sadr, his group, right? Including mortars and rockets. A mortar missed me by like 15 feet, and when I was there, and he has audacity to say that the Zionists are destroyers of lives and generations, when hundreds of Americans were slaughtered by Iranian munitions between 2003 and 2012. That is hypocrisy at its finest. You know, if I was the president, and I'm not, and he's glad I'm not, there would be no negotiation with these corrupt criminal. Oh man, the only thing they would be negotiating would be at the end of a gun, and they're lucky I'm not part of that government, our government, because that's exactly, I would not relent until the man is dead and his potential successors are all dead. Because I'm tired of the rhetoric. My patience is wearing very, very thin with this. Negotiate this. Let's go for a peace treaty. I'm telling you, just keep bombing them until they throw up a white flag and say, we capitulate. All right? That's what needs to be done. Because this is ridiculous. we're putting the lives of American soldiers at risk, which we all put our lives at risk, but unnecessarily, because these lying fools here in Iran have nothing better to do than to flap their gums. How do you know when? How do you know when an Iranian is lying? Their lips are flapping. Let's put it like that. All right. Next, there was 2 terror attacks this weekend. One here in North America, one in Europe. All right. So the one in Toronto happened yesterday. A Jewish-owned bakery in Toronto, Canada, was targeted in 2 separate incidents on Sunday morning, including one location that was struck by gunfire. No injuries were reported, and investigators are working to determine whether incidents can be connected. One store was struck by gunfire, while the second store was sustained damage to a window. And then it says police and said investigators are working to identify those responsible for the acts. The department's hate crime unit and an integrated gun and gang task force are investigating. Okay, so they're investigating that as a hate crime, as a terrorist attack. All right, it's terrorism is a person or group's effort to sway a political leaning in everyday life. That's basically, in a nutshell, what terrorism is. That's what they're doing. Berlin's attack was a result of an Islamist that they knew was out there. Okay? Good news is said terrorist is dead. A suspect in the attack of Berlin's Pride Fest, and all these gay people, I support the Muslim movement. There are our compatriots in arms, and we're there to protect them, and they're here to protect us. You're lying through your teeth too, people. The Muslim community does not like the homosexual community at all, and this is a result of that. A suspect in the attacks at Berlin's Pride Festival that left 1 person dead and 29 others injured was killed during a confrontation with police in a nearby suburb. German authorities on Sunday launched an intensive manhunt for Abdul Balut, a German citizen with Lebanese roots. Balut was killed following a 24-hour search. Prosecutors said he had previously sought to join the military Islamic State group. So, here we go, right? Everything we see here points to us dealing with the Islamic terror attack. That was the Interior Minister Alexander Dobrindt. The minister said the suspect had previously come to the attention of authorities for multiple crimes, as well as his radicalization and belonging to the Islamic scene. Dobrindt said Balut was born in Germany and that his mother became a naturalized citizen in 2002, 3 years before he was born. Oh, wow. He was born in 2005. So he was 21 years old. He said the suspect had previously received a suspended prison sentence for 1 year and 10 months, but did not disclose what the conviction was for. Police said a white van drove into a crowd at Berlin's Tiergarten Park at 10 p.m. Saturday before crashing into a tree. Authorities said the suspect then attacked several people with a machete before fleeing. Here we go again, right? Let's negotiate and be nice with them. They don't care. Even though I don't support these pride events at all, people don't need to be treated like that at all. Seriously. Man. All right, next. The president Saturday night was at the Walker speech, the White House, not the White House Communications, the White House Correspondents' Dinner, right? Hold on just a second. What are we at? 6:50? I'm still online. All right. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm not doing no raids through tomorrow until I get my internet fixed. And Dan Bongino will not be on at 9 a.m. All right. Sean Farish, which I don't know if you watched Bongino on Friday. Uh, Sean Farish announced that Dan Bongino announced that Sean Farish is joining the Bongino Report Network, and on August 17th will start his daily podcast at 1 p.m. Eastern on the Bongino Report. All right. All right. So walk-in dinner. President Trump delivered a speech Friday night. I thought it was Saturday. Friday night at a rescheduled White House Correspondents Association annual dinner, which struck both lighthearted and more serious tones after the spring shooting. While the annual dinner is historically held at the Hilton, Friday's dinner is held at the Waldorf Astoria and had a smaller guest list than of the April's ill-fated dinner. The president noted that the speech is different than the one that he planned in April and comes after a gunman disrupted the previous banquet earlier this year. Oh, that was going to be a doozy, he said. I was so psyched. I was going to rip people, and I don't know. Just something changed. President Trump said in his original speech, it's really going to be for the better. I just wouldn't want to do that. The president also praised some of April's attendees for their bravery, including members of his administration, such as Warsak, Pete Hegseth, and White House border czar Tom Homan. Very serious situation. Many of you here were here with me and showed some extreme bravery, like Pete Hegseth, Steve Miller, Tom Homan. They were standing on tables. Most of you were under the tables. I didn't know if they were brave, if they were smart, if they were stupid as blank, the president said. But they were on those tables in some cases, and there with a lot of different feelings going around the room at that moment. I mean, that's right. And they, like the Sec War and the FBI director, were doing their jobs and keeping people safe, keeping their families safe, right? So that was good. I'm glad it went off without a hitch this weekend. That'd be cool. We'll cover the rest of that out at 8 o'clock. Let's see. President warns China and Russia against aiding Iran. Didn't we? We just talked about that with Ukraine sinking a ship that was delivering supplies from Russia to Iran. All right. So, following another round of ramped up strikes against Iran for the 13th night, President Trump warned China and Russia Friday, because remember we've had 3 nights in a row with no attacks, not to assist Iran in his reportedly weighing options to escalate strikes, seemingly addressing reports that China and Russia have been assisting Iran with drones, weapons, and satellites. Trump says China's President Xi Jinping and Russia President Vladimir Putin promised that they would not sell to the Islamic Republic, reiterating their commitment to the president. Yeah, okay, sure. The president put on Truth Social. President Xi, at a recent meeting in Beijing, told me that he would not, under any circumstance, give or sell weapons to the Islamic Republic of Iran, and that statement included Chinese companies. Considering our relationship, I would take him at his word, and besides, I am doing him very big favors. Likewise, Putin, despite the terrible war going on in Ukraine, the relationship remains, and it does with Zelensky. Told me he would not sell weapons to Iran. He understands that I do not sell weapons to Ukraine, but to NATO countries. They pay full price. And now those weapons are distributed. I have no idea. And that's what he wrote. The president appears to give China and Iran the benefit of the doubt while warning them not to meddle in the war. Don't trust Iran. Don't trust Russia, and don't trust Xi Jinping in China at all. It comes with an extreme price of what's going on. And maybe the last thing I get to talk about, since it's already 6:56, the filing period for the U.S. Senate in South Carolina ends tomorrow on the 28th. There are several people already filed, right? So Congressman Russell Fry, as we know, filed. Congressman Ralph Norman filed, as we know, right? We know Darlene Graham, she filed also. They added their names to the list on Friday, according to the South Carolina Elections Commission. On Tuesday's first day, Duke Buckner, Mark Lynch, Mark McBride, Clark Nielsen, and Samuel Shepard filed. Congressman Fry has already in the elections for November 3rd. He filed also for his own district. Evidently, I guess you can do that in South Carolina, be on two ballots at the same time. Let's see, Senator Lindsey Graham died July 11th, 2 days after his 71st birthday. The filing period runs through Tuesday, and then the primary is actually August 11th, which is the day of the Conservative Club. The successful candidate will take Graham's spot on the ballot on November 3rd. Dr. Annie Andrews, a Charleston pediatrician, is the Democrat opponent. General McMaster appointed Graham's sister, Darlene Graham, to finish his term until the 120th Congress. She will file, backed by the 6-year term of the president. And then on Friday, also Mark Sanford said he was going to run also. He has yet to file yet. All right, but he's still got till tomorrow. Might make for a very interesting race. In Maine, they selected Tony Jackson as another communist Democrat that's going to face off against Susan Collins in the Maine Senate election also. All right, so we are almost out of time. We still have a few more stories to cover. I thank y'all very much for tuning in, bearing with me, because sometimes it can be really frustrating. Every day it's like a new issue coming up, but you just face your issues, you work through them, overcome them, and conquer them. Okay, and it looks like we made it because, wow, that was 6,800 kilobits a second right there. Well, I guess I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, I turned off non-essential communications right now for just during the podcast and stuff. The save bandwidth. I don't know if that's a true thing or not, but that's how it is. So that is JP's morning brief for this morning. I will be back in 1 hour for the actual JP8 report. Thank you very much for tuning in, like I said, okay? Go out and watch Vince. I'm going to try to watch him on my phone when I get out of here. All right? So y'all have a great morning. And there's the alarm that I forgot to turn off. See? Can't remember everything. So take it easy. I'll see you all in about an hour on the JP8 report. All right? This is James Pierce. I will catch you on the flip side. I'm out.